Well, hello there, and welcome back. Onslaught Legends series Season 2 is starting today, and of course, I wouldn't want to do it without beautiful Ducky beside me. How are you doing?
I'm doing just great, Kihan. I'm so glad to be here with you and all of our lovely viewers in the chat as well. Season 2, yeah, we've had Season 1. There's another episode coming out, Season 2. Can the teams from last season repeat their performances, or can they step it up? That is the question, of course. That is going to be the story. But first, looking at the schedule, we're going to be very similar to last season altogether. So we have the Thursday stream, the Sunday stream, and then from next week we have Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, and we have, of course, some NA in there as well. You can see that on the 22nd and the 23rd, where we have the grand finals, of course, from both the OLS and the OLF. Which one
is possible to get?
What's the name of it?
I think that one's the Churchill 1?
I have no clue. I don't play that tier, so that's why I asked you. But prize pool, Gian, if you can quickly remind me, last season we had, how much was it? Rough?
Last season I believe like 65.5, something like this. And now we're already above 62k, and we haven't even started the event yet. And obviously people will be able to buy bundles for quite some time to come. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to top what we had last season. And
I double checked right now. Last season we had 65,924. So I'm pretty sure we're going to beat that. But of course we have OLF as well, $15,000. We did change the split a little bit. Cashback against W is indeed a very interesting match, because this W is a different W than we saw last season. I mean, it's also a match where, you know, Baby gets to prove himself. He switched from W to Cashback. He played with them already in the Frag Store Winter Invitational. So that's the addition there for the team of Cashback. But then when we look at this W lineup, it's a bit different than we saw before. I mean, we have Brainbreaker joining, we have Yoss joining, and who else? Was there anybody else? Am I missing something else?
I mostly made notes as to who went away. Splati, yeah, for example, as well. But yeah, Cashback, interestingly enough, they have opted. They are the only team in the OLS to only come with 8 players. So they didn't even pick a 9th one. So obviously, if they make it into those spots where, you know, prize money is involved, then they have to split with less people. But they'll also, you know, have to play more, each and every single one of them. That being said, they won't have to play too much today, because Phase 1 is going to be best of 5s all around. And it might be a quick one at that, because we're going to be playing Westfield, Cliff, into possibly Moravanka. Those are some darn quick maps. We're just about ready to kick off Onslaught Legends Series Season 2, and W are taking on the reigning champion. W coming in with a double Bat, Centurion Action X, triple Briska, and Clorf playing the Tessak. All right, on Westfield.
Liberty, in the meantime, moving towards the other strike. Brainbreaker picking up the info on the top of your screen. Of course, that is able to spot anybody on the enemy team. But so far, no cap pressure from W just yet. Cashback has taken the strikes. Liberty's taken the second one. Klurf is on the prowl here, though, in his Tessak with a Batcha behind him, and possibly Brainbreaker joining him as well through the A line. but it's normally you see the camp come out quite early, but in this case it's not. Splatty will block, Iset will be on the other end, and now you can see the grouping though from Cashback back towards the 2 line. They seem to smell that something is up here, that something is about to happen, and they are making a brilliant move right now if you look at the minimap. But look at W in return, Kihan. They seem to be evacuating the AO in very quick fashion as well, but they do not have any strikes.
They don't have any strikes currently, and still a lot of cooldown left on both of the strikes on the lower side of Westfield. And now we see a lot of tanks actually by Cashback in that cap. Obviously, more than 3 doesn't really matter because 3 is the biggest number that you can get. Now we have to check, do any of the W tanks have baby strikes available? I don't think they do as well. So there needs to be the block. HE coming out from Jakufar, but he actually pays hugely with HP as the cap goes down to 4 seconds. Are they going to be able to reset is the question. No, Splatty has to commit now, but ooh, last second reset.
Yeah, last second reset, but the damage has been dealt in the meantime, and here comes the push off on both sides, on towards Splatty, on towards Frugo. They know that they have the overmatch. Frugo's the first one down. Splatty will not live much longer, and so starts the train rolling from Cashback. They get 1, they get 2 in a mere second. Splatty to the grave. Jakefa already down low from having to get that reset, will get picked up by a little, and W in battle number 1, getting schooled a little bit by Cashback on speed of rotations.
Absolutely, Cashback just that little bit faster on the rotations, and now it's cleanup operation, mop-up crew time for Liberty, who should probably be able to pick up Brainbreaker, who's down towards the grave as we speak. Clerv trying to dodge, trying to weave, but it's not gonna be enough. Cashback, the reigning champions, are going to pick up round number 1.
Yeah, really interesting rotation that's from both teams. You know, like you saw W trying to rotate across the A line, but that rotation takes a lot longer with that bad shot and then the sack and the other bad from below than it does for Cashback to group up, gather up the forces, take everybody, simply go for the cap. And the funny thing is, of course, if you cap at 7 people, Keyhand, 2k damage, I think, on the first reset, and then you're forced in with Bliskavice of Splatty and Frugo, and you're still out of position with the Tsaka, the double bats. It's an easy repush from Cashback at that point, but they enabled themselves to be in that position by just smelling out that W was rotating. So really good stuff there from Cashback.
Absolutely. I think they kind of caught W with their pants down even. It just seemed like the rotation was so much quicker, and Gotchi Baby actually against his former teammates is once again top of the leaderboard. Then again, obviously the Centurion Action X is just one of those tanks that is supposed to like bait both the enemy and his own team into staying alive the longest and being able to do huge amounts of damage with the DPM that then comes in. So game number 1 here, Cashback taking a quick round, and they kind of make it look easy. Then again,
come to the cap after which you overpush. That wasn't happening. W's definitely been in the kitchen a little bit, and they're still switching around, but still not the most common lineup. E100, Mivi, Bliskavice, Forshby, STRV, EBR, and an RHM.
Yeah, exactly. The MVY, not a tank you would normally expect to see on Westfield, but obviously that one was adjusted as well. A little bit more gun depression, I believe, on the small gun to go with it, so might be very, very usable now on Westfield. I think what we saw it on before was like Studzianki, where, you know, it was sort of kind of used to hold north, but let's see how it goes against, well, actually 2 lineups that are very, very different from each other. Like Cashback going a little bit for the brute force approach together with a triple batcher, just want to overwhelm. I think W, they want to hold. They have that double light tank with a single EBR as well, and they have an STRV. That normally indicates that they want to play the long game.
The long game, but at the same time with that STRV, you have to be careful from not getting him spotted the whole time. So, because of the planes, of course. But yeah, this is a bit to do with, of course, the ability changes, right, Kihan? Well, we have a moment where not too much is happening. The batchat ability got buffed. It starts with level 1 now in the beginning of the battle, compared to before where it didn't have any charge, which gives it that more firepower right in the beginning of the battle, because you are reloaded quicker, which means you can fight quicker. Changes a lot on a lot of maps. That's why Batchat is very, very meta right now, at least in the random one-shot queue. The EBR ability also got buffed. I think it also starts at a higher level now, and the ability itself got buffed, right? Like the stats of it. So there's that. E100 third got buffed a little bit, right? Maybe that plays into effect. And of course, the Mivi was buffed as well.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of like fine tuning, I would say, going on. That obviously, like, you have those things that affect everything, like E100 buff, MVY buff, but you also have the Onslaught specific changes that happen on top of it as well. But now, as we keep yapping on about changes here, what doesn't change to game number 1 is that Cashback is actually capping again here. They're doing that with triple bat chat. 2 of them are spotted currently, 6 seconds to go. So now Jakifa with that Briskowitza trying to come in. He's very far from the... Yeah, he's very far from where he is, from the red line, and the base does indeed get captured. Mistimed reset, or rather block attempt coming in, and Cashback, I mean, they don't really need to shoot at anyone. They just get the base cap off, and it's 2-0.
Pacifist award of the season goes to Cashback, killing their opponents with kindness, capping. Yeah, well, that's how it goes to 0. You can have all the cooking in the world in a strat. If you're not ready to decap or block the cap, then this happens. This is out position by somebody. In this case, maybe Jakifa was out of position, or he was put in the wrong position and they weren't able to block the cap. But the E100 is obviously never making that, so it has to be the Bliskavitsa. He needed like 2 seconds more to make it. The SRV can't hit it. They don't have any strikes. And yeah, I mean, Barbarian just... you know, the best, right? Can I get
absolutely
some votes in the chat for Barbarian? I mean, look at that. He did 606. He did more damage than his entire team combined. Let's just
absolutely
give it up for Barbarian, guys. Unbelievable. Cliff is also an interesting one, especially because you can dodge planes in the beginning. You can only get info on one side anymore. You can get all 7 if you're going fully mid, but if you're not going fully mid, it's kind of guessing what's going 1-2. Because with the plane, you can spot what's going middle, but you can't spot what's going 1-2. This leaves a little bit of like variety and room for surprises of lineups to come, of what can go 1-2 line. Everybody loves them so much for that, Kian.
I mean, you know, maybe we can change my L3 at some point to not say, you know, like a competitive operations manager, but instead map guru.
Map guru.
Map guru.
Map guru. More like map terrorist, Kian. Let's. Jesus. Map guru, man. Anyways, good to start the season off with a bang. Kihan telling some banger jokes as per usual. I don't think we'll see too many different lineups on Cliff, except for that the bat is, again, we talked about it. Cashback is bringing it as well in mass. They're bringing 5 of it, the T100 and BZ. The bat ability, it does change early fights.
Absolutely. The fact that you're able to essentially have the full clip available now after 20 seconds is huge, especially on Cliff. And like the thing is, with the bat chat, theoretically, if you know, do your shots of damage, then you never run out of ability. Like, you're essentially a perma-loaded autoloader that sometimes has to wait like 10 seconds in between the clips. But that's kind of it. So let's see how this one is going to stack up against each other. Both teams with the light tank, namely W also with the Gorilla as well. He does get spotted. So Jakifa, even though he's going to be sitting on the red line, the information about the Gorilla is available. And also Cashback. Some of them got spotted, so they know that the 7th tank, the one that they don't know about, must be a light as well.
See, the Gorilla might be able to cook here, and Cashback immediately crossing over, but en masse, Aka, Baby, Barbarian as well. There's only Liberty left in the middle, and W is coming here with the double BZ. The Gorilla is going to cover a little bit.
Oh, the plane. Yeah. Actually, really good plane coming out from W, so they do see the triple bat shot that's waiting for them here, and that is very, very healthy BZs, but probably not for long as the trap gets sprung. Barbarian driving in with the BZ of his own, and already Splatty down to the grave here. Iset taking large chunks of damage as well, but I think the damage on towards W has been done.
Yeah, especially because Splatty's already dead, and you talked about it beforehand. The ability of the bat shot turns it into an absolute DPM machine. They're already coming back off of reload. Itox is the second one on the chopping board. Frugo desperately trying to chase down Aka, but he says, not today, Frugo, as he does hit a banger shot there, I think, with HE. Tries to boost forward as well, but look at the HP, look at the positions. It's a common story on Cliff to get stuck on that 1 line, on that 2 line. It's the same story in randoms, Kihan, when you have so many tanks committed on that part of the map and no possibility to support your teammates on the upper side. You do usually end up losing, and losing is exactly what the doctor prescribed for W, as round 1 in the OLS season number 2 goes the way of Cashback against W in a convincing fashion as well, with a 3-0 that leaves no questions if Cashback is prepared for Season 2.
Absolutely. The reigning champions here sweeping in, and with a clean sweep, actually, against W, with not a single round actually even having the potential of going W's way. So Clerf is going on 5 HP to extend the round a little bit more, but Liberty actually is going to close the coffin on towards W. 3-0 here. Absolute dominance from Cashback.
Yeah, I mean, they played everything correctly. And this felt extremely easy for them, especially the last round was like cross from the top, kill everything on the bottom. And then you have this Gorilla out of the game, you have this TVP out of this game, you have another Batchet at F1 out of the game. You have a BZ locked in the middle, and then of course, lineup against lineup, you mentioned the Batchet ability. When they get a full clip out, they're reloading in about, I think it's like 13 to 15 seconds. I can't remember from the top of my head, but if you know the BZ reloads for 650 alpha.
Yeah, that's about kind of the same thing, right?
Right. It's in the ballpark figure of 10 seconds plus. And then you look at the bad shot and it's like 5 times 390. You know, 3 BZs versus 3 bad shots. It doesn't look good for the bad shots, usually, for the BZs. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, they shoot with the BZ, Splatty does 0. And then the bad shots just get a clip, reload, and do it again. So lineup for lineup, I like Cashbacks more. I think W's could work if Cashback wasn't set up the way they were. But they were.
Yeah, and in the end, I think Cashback also, like, they really got the jump on towards some of the tanks that W had, like all those BZs, like they're very beefy, but if you have even those start melting away.
I got a question. Were the bats spotted before Splatty pushed up or not? Because I felt like they were, and he pushed up, but could be mistiming there. To me, it looked like they were spotted already, and he still went to the corner, which is an error, if they were.
Yeah. Because,
I mean, if 3 bad shots, 2 BZs, simple math, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it looked like the rockets on the BZ were already activated before the information came in from the plane, which kind of makes it look super awkward then.
You can.
So what do you do?
You can dead stop with the BZ, though. I mean, you cannot reverse, but you can go to no speed.
Yeah.
And you can technically handbrake 180 degrees around the other way. This is a trick for like many players. If you want to control the BZ boosts more, handbrake is actually the only mechanic in the game that allows you to really change the direction where you're boosting to. So handbraking around is fully possible.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks.
But yeah, I think this concludes actually match number 1 here of the day. And to be honest, we said it might be a quick one, and turn out it was. Like, I think that was around about 20 minutes, and we are already done. So that means we'll, of course, be back with match number 2. But first of all, let's take a very quick look at the replays.